what strategy do you follow, or perhaps did you follow, in order to get the budget that you needed to run the type of program that you're running?
Lots of begging.
So my favorite strategy is to compare my costs to the cost of a new firewall. And in my experience, the technology that we use to protect our users, be it firewalls or email filters or proxy servers, all of that is orders of magnitude greater than my costs. You know, I can buy a couple thousand of those squeeze fish for pennies compared to how much it costs to put in one firewall. And so that's one of the favorite strategies I use. And obviously, you know, and you can always talk about risk and point out that studies have shown that the biggest risk to your cybersecurity is people. And I'm not saying our people are the problem. I'm saying that's how the hackers get in most often. That's the most common way they get in. So that's our biggest risk. So that's where we should be putting most of our resources to protect against that risk. So if it's a risk conversation, you've got the ammunition already. And if it's just, you know, if it's a spend conversation, well, yeah, you can spend $1 million on a firewall, or you can spend 30,000 on a subscription to some great cybersecurity awareness training. You know, so that's how those are two of the things that have worked very well for me.
Yeah, so kind of build. Oh, sorry, real quick, kind of building on that. I think it's you can, you know, qualify and quantify what the impact will be of a, you know, actual security event. So I think if you know, can lay out, here's a real life scenario or situation that either has occurred at our company or, you know, has occurred at other companies that could occur at our company, and you can, you know, help people understand what the true impact of that would be, then I think that really helps go a long way with, you know, driving the discussion on what makes sense from a budget standpoint around awareness training.
The way I look at it is, here's the way I proposed it. So it was going back to, so if your organization, and whether you have IT governance in place, whether your board, you know, what matters to them, it's your story. You know, you got to tell the story. And if you follow the NIST cybersecurity framework, if you're doing the CIS top 20 controls, whichever one of those is your body of knowledge, whatever one is your cost of compliance, whatever the drivers are, cybersecurity awareness is part of that. I look at cybersecurity awareness as part of your threat and vulnerability management program. It should be also embedded in your change management practice. It should be embedded in every single practice that you have, because it is behavior change. If you want people to know how to do business, you want to connect, you have IT governance program. IT is supposed to enable the business. And how do you do that is you make the business and IT understand each other. And that's part of cybersecurity awareness. The security is doing good practice, and you have good cyber hygiene. These two things go hand in hand together. So when things are not going well, we already know what the cost of a cyber attack is. You can ask your cyber insurer, they're going to tell you. The cost of a cyber insurance program, we know what the cost of that is. The cost of cybersecurity awareness program is, here's the license cost. You do that cost benefit analysis, you put that in front of your financial person, it's going to be a no-brainer. So understand what the business wants, needs are, and tell them the story. But put it in the mindset of what's out there, what the standards are. So if somebody is driving, you know, talking about NIST, you know, get to know your auditor, get to know your risk manager, get to know your cyber insurer, you know, find out what's out there and talk to these people. And they can help you tell the story. If you want some help from me, because I've written one of these before, I have a nice little template that I'll be more than willing to give you, that you can beg, borrow, and steal and use it to present and at will, because I consider it an easy sell as long as you know who your audience is to tell the story.
You touched on a good point, Donna. I also cover off on the IT compliance requirements at the corporate level. And we've been seeing a distinct change, of course, for publicly traded companies, a distinct change in the last year with what the external auditors are looking for. And they are specifically interested in cybersecurity. It is becoming more and more of an active topic. But going back to the question, we take the approach of we put forth our what objectives we'd like to achieve for the upcoming year in our initial draft budget submission. The board comes back with what they like to see, and then it's just that challenge of matching the board expectations to the funding level and making sure that they're more or less on par with each other.
New episodes of Cyberwork are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to claim your free month of Infosec skills. Sign up using the code CYBERWORK and you'll get unlimited access to hundreds of courses, hands-on labs, certification practice exams, skills assessments, and more. Use code CYBERWORK for Infosec skills.